FM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music. Talk. Inspiration. In perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
The power of radio. This is Citi 97.3.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Welcome to Monday, November 28, 2022. Good morning, bonjour, buenos dias. This is the Citi Breakfast Show, live on your dial 97.3 FM. My name is Nathan Quao, sitting in for Bernard Avle. It's such a pleasure bringing you the biggest breakfast in town. Grab a seat, let's have breakfast. Join us on 0549 986 996. Get to us on Twitter at Citi973, hashtag CitiCBS. Sounds of the Tego sisters. They call this one Yedin Kunim. We are victorious and more victories are on their way. We start off with our business sense. Brought to us by ADB. ADB is giving you the Payday Plus. You have access to about 10,000 cedis or 80% of your next net monthly salary just to deal with those pressing needs before payday. There's no interest on repayment within 30 days and your money hits your account the same day. You can call Meredith on 0243273369 or now on 0244284197 for more details. ADB, truly a great and more. Our business sense today comes from Sir Winston Churchill, one of the greatest leaders of his time. He says success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. So we need to understand that the path to success will be littered with so many losses, so many L's, so many failures. What keeps us going is to go from one challenge to the other without losing enthusiasm, without wanting to give up. Because when you give up, you never get to the end. If you are running a race and you stop halfway, you never complete it. But the achievement comes in getting to the end of the process, getting to the end of the line. Along the way, there will be failures, but the success is going from one to the other. eventually you will get to your goal. So that's our business sense for the morning. Great way to start the week. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. That's our business sense, proudly brought to us by ADB. ADB, truly a great and more. The newspaper review comes up next. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Why would you want to be caught up in this?
Those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, at some point, well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss. Yeah. So we saw it. But they held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him. That this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan, there's a proverb.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was but those days it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was aquateshi, So I just took it. When I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me? I was like, Charlie, I'll never touch it. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you never smoked?
Smoke, no way. No.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Then who comes out of the car? Chachu Chikata and Kojo Chikata. And the Chachu told me that they have, Kojo was sick since the morning and he has been tortured and whatnot, and they have come for medical attention. Of course, naturally, I have to look after them, even though they are very close relatives. So I look at Kojo, I examine him, I notice that he's definitely been tortured. And there was blood, deep-seated blood in the ears. You can see that clearly.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. for Footprints, only on Citi TV.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital.
Coming up next is the newspaper review, brought to us by Total Energies. 3-time winner of the Petroleum Company of the Year award given out by the CIMG. These days they are in the CIMG's Hall of Fame for petroleum, and they are committed to giving you the best of products and services so you can enjoy driving your vehicle. That's the news coming from Total Energies. The segment's also brought to us by Fidelity Bank. These days we all need cash. That's why the Fidelity Bank Sikaboom promo is all you have to do is deposit and maintain 300 cedis in your account every month during the promo period, and you are a winner. You can win 100,000 cedis in the grand draw. Open your Fidelity account and make that deposit today. T's and C's apply. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. And the newspaper review is also brought to us by Kel Chaco Toothpaste. Kel Chaco Toothpaste, happy smile. Six 36. Welcome to the newspaper review.
Charlie, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
What is that?
Look how good I.
Hey, good do a boy.
Charlie, are you sure the two don't be the 2 goals? You go good for them.
Why the heck? What we get?
No, a boy.
Charlie, are you sure? So the 2 goals, the 2 lines, do they mean Ghana too?
No, it is Charlie.
It's what it is.
Is
the road from Dubai, Qatar to Accra?
no.
Which? But you look nice, man. I like it.
Boy. Because so you told the Baba that Charlie
Yeah,
2 lines.
I just told him to do it.
Sky envies you. He can't put anything there. And this guy put a boy there. Let's see.
I have. I've just decided that always let me keep it, clean.
I say, but where will you put that boy? Where you put that boy is the issue. You have the spot for that boy.
In fact, because of you, I'll do Abo in general.
Anyway, let me take you to the front page of the Guardian Times to start with. Gold for oil program from January 1. BOG to buy 20% refined gold from mining companies for purchase of oil for Ghanaian market. Jospon ventures into large-scale rice production. They signed a deal with the Thailand Exim Bank. The vice president has also launched a $450 million multi-country credit facility. And on the Oslo Chancery building case, Norway dismisses appeal against Ghana.
The Daily Graphic says this morning, gold for oil. Mining firms directed to sell 20% for petroleum. This photograph of the Honorable Abu Jinapo is here on the front page. Also, Jospon partners Thai companies for rice production, as you said much earlier. And Ghana wins appeal in Norway case. More stories in the graphic this morning.
Front page of the Chronicle newspaper says that 10 billion Ghana Citi U-Start program will lead to massive job creation. This is coming from the finance minister. And then alleged national security operative in court over 2.7 million Ghana cedi gold robbery at the Kotoka International Airport. And the Minister for Trade and Industry, Alan Chamat, is also on the front page. He says that African leaders must champion industrialization.
The BNFT says this morning, additional revenue lines to raise 8 billion Ghana cedis. Also, major boost for local rice production as Jospon signs MOUs with major rice players in Thailand. And then also on the front page this morning, Access Bank partners DBG to grow SME sector.
The New Crusading Guide has the Norway story, has the Jospon story as well.
Hey, why is the Jospon story all over the place like that?
That's right.
The Republic Press says this morning, NDC MPs lament government job freeze. They are not happy about that. We'll tell you more about it. Also, Baumia launches $450 million multi-country project to secure Ghana's borders. And then Africa needs a new strategic framework for industrialization, according to the Trade and Industry Minister, Alan Chemanteng.
Well, Jospon also on the front page of the Ghanaian Publisher, his rice deal makes it there. U-Start leading job creation also makes it. Yeah, the Finder also carries the U-Start story. So that's all from me, Nathan.
Okay, let me take you to the Herald newspaper. Plot to hijack Ghana's oil field with GMPC Acre Energy hatched. Another free money awaits key politicians, MPs, journalists, and CSOs in bribery scheme. Also, Ofosu Ampofo rubbishes anti-Mahama tag by Asiedu Nketiah's supporters. And then something here that says, Oforiata and MPs attend post budget workshop at Ho. If you go to the Inquisitor newspaper, race for NDC chair, mosquito photo get grabby. Brasabi photo. Also on the front page this morning, Esla Esiama fight over chair in parliament. Really? Charlie, brothers, they fight too.
Charlie. All right, if you go online, citynewsroom.com says Edrahini distils chief for allegedly aiding nomadic herdsmen in robbery attacks. Government will be open to feedback on new policies in budget. That's according to Fuseni Issa. In the World Cup, let Morocco go seal stunning win over Belgium, and government to barter gold for oil. If you go to citybusinessnews.com, they say Talo Ghana committed to skills transfer. That's according to its MD. Trade surplus hits 1.87 billion in October, and government to barter gold for oil. That's coming from the vice president. If you go to myjoyonline.com, they also have some stories, and they start off on a sad note. Ghana's Cardinal Richard Bawabir dies in Rome at age 63. Oforiatta has learned a better lesson, battling on calls for minister's head, and we have enough gold to exchange for oil. That's according to the deputy energy minister. And BOG pegs cedi depreciation to dollar at 54%. Star FM also has Cardinal Bawabir's death. They carry that story. On the budget, minority demands scrapping of 3 revenue mobilization measures. A national cathedral. Government to spend 80 million cedis in 2023. Additional 247.5 million by 2026. And Professor Ebo Texan says e-levy threshold should have been increased, not removed. Okay. And if you go international, the BBC has a story from China. They have a live ticker which says barriers up in Shanghai as China COVID protests spread. Okay, shocking protests are a huge challenge for China leaders, and attacks on energy grid may be genocide. That's according to Ukraine. And interesting, well, not interesting, but clashes in Brussels after Morocco beats Belgium in the World Cup. So
no shock there.
No shock there. That's what's happening on the portals.
I want to start with an interesting letter, very important this morning. Bring back PWD, which is Public Works Department. We call it Papa Odovlo. And there's an interesting letter there that says that it's a very important matter. There is a phenomenon gradually creeping into our society, especially in the rural and peri-urban areas, and sometimes even in the major cities. It is common to see young men armed with wheelbarrows and shovels right in the middle of the roads, claiming to be undertaking road maintenance works, albeit voluntarily. Now, in certain cases, their services may be commendable as one sees them fill some potholes and make some of the roads more passable. Now, these activities are heightened, especially during the rainy seasons. Now, on most occasions, they are a source of nuisance to motorists due to the incessant demand for money, sometimes in very embarrassing manners, with insults on non-complying motorists. Now, one is tempted to ask what the district and the metropolitan municipal assemblies in these areas concerned are doing to check the activities of these people. Are they not aware of the presence of these young men? And if so, why they are allowed to continue to fix the roads in the most unprofessional manner? This is a very, very important matter for me, because I'm linking it to a trip I made to the Volta region over the weekend to bury 2 close relations of mine who died and were buried on the same day on Saturday. Charlie, the very unprofessional nature of rams. Charlie, some of the rams is like chufi, that they just cut it and then put it in the middle of the road. You understand? It is as though we do not have a public works department responsible for highways or roads, so that people just do their own things. Like, if you are using that road for the very first time and you assume that it is a highway of some kind and you just want to drive,
you'll be shocked.
Especially at night, Charlie, you will die. And we cannot continue to have that. It's important that the people who are manning the ministry responsible for roads and highways, they have to go and remove those things. Because I don't know under whose leadership such a thing should be done. It cannot be accepted. It cannot be.
let me take you to page 17 of the Ghanaian Times, where the government is trying to come up with ways to solve the country's petroleum problem. And one of this is what they are calling the Gold for Oil program.
Okay.
And all large-scale mining companies in the country from January 1 next year are expected to sell 20% of all refined gold at their refineries to the Bank of Ghana. The purchase will be made in Ghana cedis before the export of the gold. A statement signed and issued in Accra on Wednesday by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abdullahi Jinapor, tasked the BOG and the Precious Minerals Marketing Company to coordinate with the large-scale mining companies to ensure compliance with the directive. Also, it noted that all licensed small-scale gold miners and community mining schemes were also to mandatorily sell their gold outputs to government through PMMC in support of the program. Quote, all small-scale gold mining licenses and community mining schemes licenses shall include a clause mandating licensees to sell their gold to the government. Perhaps we'll spend some time discussing this in detail.
Yeah, connected to that, let me read a story which is in a way seeking to ensure local sufficiency in terms of the production of rice. Jospon partners Thai companies for rice production. Now, it's a news desk report, and it says that Jospon group of companies, JGC, has entered into partnership with major rice industry players in Thailand to develop an integrated rice farming project. Now, the Thai companies will provide technical and equipment support for the entire rice value chain in the country with the aim of producing rice for the local and export market. Now, the first batch of the technical team is expected to arrive in Ghana sometime in December. And it references the minister's budget to Parliament last week, detailing how the government intends to deal with the rising inflation we're seeing on the food market or in the food market.
Let me tell you about the You Start program on page 3 of the Chronicle newspaper. And it says that though the Minister of Finance, Kenneth Ofori-Atta, announced in the 2023 budget the intention of the government to freeze employment in the public sector, the same budget also intends to create thousands of jobs through the You Start program, which already has a budget of 10 billion Ghana cedis. The Chronicle understands that a number of young Ghanaians have already benefited from the government's piloted You Start program with a sponsorship amount of 1.9 million Ghana cedis. This was implemented and it involved 85 young entrepreneurs. So an eye on the You Start program. And the TUC, we are told, not very happy with this proposal to freeze. You also have a story on that. Okay, whilst you do the NDC version, I'll give you the TUC.
Yeah, the NDC MPs in Parliament have been lamenting the government's decision to freeze jobs across most sectors, if that's what it will be, in the coming year. Now, concerns have been raised by the minority in Parliament, according to the Republic Press newspaper, that a freeze on public sector employment will worsen the unemployment situation in the country. Therefore, the group has asked the government to consider the number of youths that risk becoming jobless against the existing unemployment situation in the country. This follows the government's announcement of a freeze on hiring into the public and civil service effective January 2020.
And the TUC also has issues with that decision on page 24 of the Ghanaian Times. That's the Deputy General Secretary of TUC, Joshua Ansa, who says the group was not in favor of a freeze on employment in the services and took steps to prevent it by engaging the IMF team when it came into the country.
Okay, now former MP Hussein Issa, he's called on Ghanaians to be patient with the 2023 budget and the new policies announced in them. Now, he believes that the budget largely meets the needs of Ghanaians, but he has assured that the government would be open to feedback on its new policies. He was on the big issue over the weekend, and that was when he made those comments.
Let me take you to some story on the front page of the Herald newspaper this morning. Plot to hijack Ghana's oil field with GNPC Acre Energy cooked. And the story says the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, is the place to focus on, as some elements within the Akufo-Addo government have said. They are about to pull off one of the biggest scams before the nation, according to the paper, using the Norwegian oil firm Acre Energy as frontman. Now, it will see a renewed interest in the Pecan oil fields and witness huge amounts of cash already earmarked for the deal, exchanging hands between political class members, members of parliament on both sides of the house, civil society organizations, and prominent media personalities to once again give their unflinching support to a deal which was earlier plagued by bribery and corruption. These are very, very serious allegations that the Herald newspaper is making today. And if anybody is interested in what's happening in the oil sector, they have this matter has got to be investigated so that we get to the bottom of it.
Okay. Well, there's a very worrying story. It's carried by the Chronicle, also the Finder, and I think the Ghanaian Times also have a version, but I'm reading the Finder's version. On a national security operative who has been remanded over robbery, possession of arms and ammunition. And it says that this national security operative is accused of robbing a director of 5 kilograms of gold worth 2.7 million Ghana cedis. Kelvin Prince Boachi, aka Don King, has been charged with conspiracy to commit crime, to which robbery and possession of an unregistered Bernie pistol loaded with 3 rounds of 9mm ammunitions without authority. And the narration is here, and I'm just asking, they say it's an alleged
incidents of Meminaso number 1 and 2, where some robbery cases had been recorded in recent times, and at a public forum, some residents accused nomadic herdsmen of being behind the recent crimes. One of the residents of Meminaso number 2, while contributing to the forum, claimed he had bumped into some herdsmen who laid ambush and had in their possession an AK-47 rifle. So it goes on and on to state that the chief of the area was disturbed by the Edrahene.
Okay, let me take you to this story. You know there is this game we used to play. You'll be. What is it? Chess?
Musical chess.
Okay, yes, musical. I'm gonna go school, Papa. Now, the Inquisitor has a story that says, what do you call it? Esla and Esiama have been fighting over a chair in Parliament. Esiama, your man. Yes.
Tell me what's happening there.
The story says that there was some drama on the majority side of Parliament during the budget reading in regard to sitting places for members of Parliament. Now, members of Parliament for the Member of Parliament for the Ablekuma West constituency, Eslausu, and Member of Parliament for Etimwa Mponia Azekesiama were captured fighting over a seat in the chamber. Now, during the budget reading, ministers of state are allowed to join members of parliament in the chamber. Now, on the day of the budget reading, the Minister for Foreign Affairs sat on Isaac Kwame Esiama's chair. Now, when Isaac Kwame Esiama entered the chamber and realized that his seat had been occupied by the Foreign Affairs Minister, he moved away to sit in Eslausu's chair. Now, just when he sat on the seat, Eslausu walked into the chamber and went straight to her seat. Esla requested that Esiama vacates her seat, but he appeared to be telling Esla to find another seat. However, Esla would not budge, as she insisted that the guy who was sitting in his chair, her chair, should get up. She successfully vacated, him, but Esiama was captured nagging over the issue after he left.
But it's just like
that's true. But I think that there may be some undercurrents. These things sometimes. I'm sure
you are the man with the filler. Go and find out. Anyway, let me give you 2 quick stories. On page 7 of the Ghanaian Times, fire guts China Mall at Wager Junction. That's there. And then on the back page of the Ghanaian Times, of course, is the big game. Determined stars to make amends against South Korea. And this is a report from John Figa. And today, John has slowed down small. The loss against Portugal took out John's
No. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
The scriptures he had.
Oh, yeah. But today, we'll win.
Today's today.
We'll win.
Okay.
We'll win. Jude, I'm looking for Jude. I'm not wearing my usual jersey. I'm a very, solid supporter of the Black Stars. Today, I'm not wearing just jersey because Jude is to supply me one. And he's not brought it yet.
Oh, Jude Danka.
Yes, Jude Danka. He's not brought it yet. So I'm waiting for it. When I receive it, I'm going full.
You go home naked. Okay. If it's Jude, you go home naked.
All right, guys. Thank you, Godfrey. Thank you, Richard. That was a newspaper review. Coming up next is the City Business News.
Up next, we asked some Ghanaians what they would do if they were blessed with 100,000 Ghana cedis. Hey!
business news this week?
Our appeal to the banks that it is not enough to show fat profits at the end of the year, publish them in the newspapers, and feel good.
Are you looking for a way to consume business news without getting lost in all of the technical language? Well, for our traders down here, all they care about is the fact that this could likely affect the cost of doing business.
We used to pay an average of 3,000 somewhere in November. Now it has shoot as much as $12,000 for a 40-footer container.
Business Weekly brings you all the top business stories of the week in an exciting manner. Business Weekly, Sundays at 3 p.m. only on Citi TV. Well, so, are you ready? Let's go. Hi, have you missed any business news this week?
Our appeal to the banks that it is not enough to show fat profits at the end of the year, publish them in the newspapers, and feel good.
Are you looking for a way to consume business news without getting lost in all of the technical language? Well, for our traders down here, all they care about is the fact that this could...
What do you get when you mix the best DJs in the country, the most amazing live band sets, delicious cocktails, and wonderful food? Back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group, Prayer, and being serenaded by the brilliantly talented Aquabua.
Citi 973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
6:58. Coming up next is the Citi Business News, brought to us by Access Bank. Access Bank and Graphic Communications are partnering to bring you the Maiden SME Fair 2022. It's happening on December 8th and 9th from 10 a.m. each day at the AMA Gardens from 10 a.m. All you have to do is just be there, and you find all kinds of amazing products across several ranges, and then you can buy at amazingly discounted prices. Call 0800 004400 for more info. Access Bank, more than banking. The Citi Business News is also brought to us by Goil. Goil is making things easy. You can use mobile money to pay for your floor purchases every time. Just get to your nearest station and do that. Goil, good energy, Goil. And the Citi Business News is also brought to us by Enterprise Life and MTN. All right, let's get into the latest from the world of business. Michael Obudu is here.
Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goil, Enterprise Life, your advantage, Access Bank, more than banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. Coming up, the Institute of Economic Affairs projects an increase in the policy rate to 26.5% as the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana sets to announce the new rate later today. Also, we'll bring you reactions to aspects of the 2023 budget with tax consultant Dr. Alex Ampabin calling for the scrapping of the electronic transfer levy. My name is Michael Obodu, and to our first story, the Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, is forecasting an increase in the policy rate by 200 basis points to 26.5%. The Institute's projection comes as the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana is expected to make major pronouncements on its assessment of the Ghanaian economy today. A statement issued by the IEA notes that the forecasted hike is due to the widening gap between inflation and the policy rate, which has compelled commercial banks to seek funds from the central banks at much cheaper rates while lending to government at higher tariffs. It further noted that the increase in the prime rate may be necessary to reassure the markets of the bank's strong commitment to fighting inflation. Now, away from that, the government, after much anticipation, presented the 2023 budget in Parliament, detailing its expenditure and revenue plans for the coming year. Tax consultant Dr. Alex Ampabing has been providing perspectives on some of the government's proposed domestic revenue mobilization strategies in the following report. With Ghana's bond ratings on the international market hovering around junk status, raising funds outside the country has become almost impossible or practically too expensive. So the available alternative is to look inwards at domestic revenue options that can help the government meet its budget expenditure as it works towards an International Monetary Fund IMF bailout program. Some of such policies were introduced in the budget for next year as part of a revenue mobilization effort. Value-added tax, for instance, was increased in the budget from 12.5% to 15%. Benchmark discount policy is expected to be fully phased out in 2023, and an additional income tax bracket of 35% is expected to be introduced. The electronic transfer levy was also reduced to 1% from an earlier 1.5%, but with the removal of a daily threshold of 100 Ghana cedis. The levy has failed largely to raise expected revenue since its introduction earlier this year, with calls from players like the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications for a reduction in the rate to 0.1%. Tax consultant Dr. Alex Ampabing shares his thoughts on some of these introductions in the 2023 budget.
Who is going to employ the graduates from 2023 January? That's the conversation I think government should have taken critical look at it and rather introduce business-friendly policies over this difficult time and additional VAT on top. I really do think additional VAT is wrong at this time, and there's no justification for it. At the point where the country is almost or at recession, the last thing you want to do is to introduce a VAT to cripple businesses. There was a 35% increment or introduction of additional tax band of 35%. This is something I personally have been advocating for. So I am very happy it has come. To me, on the revenue side, this to me remains the strongest and welcoming news.
Commenting on the proposed review of the electronic transfer levy, Dr. Ampabing believes it marginalizes the poor and must be scrapped, especially based on its revenue performance so far.
I think the 1% definitely, I don't see that being too far away from the 1.5. But generally, if I was in the shoes of the finance minister, I would have scrapped the 11 and rather look for more creative ways of generating revenue.
That was tax consultant Dr. Alex Ampabing ending that report. Meanwhile, a development economist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Ejapoma Jake Dakon, has described the moves by government to cut down on its expenditure as cosmetic. She believes government's expenditure cuts as captured in the 2023 budget are not drastic enough given the fact that the country is still in talks with the International Monetary Fund.
This was an interesting budget. I expected so much from this budget, but my expectations in a way were cut short. I expected so much from the expenditure side, given our debt levels and let's say, so to speak, our debt to GDP ratio at this point, and given the fact that IMF is actually asking us to get that to a sustainable level, I expected to see very drastic move from the finance minister to cut down expenditure. But I think that most of the things, so I expected the expenditure to be cut by bigger percent, and I expected the moves to also be very drastic. The moves that we have seen, in a way, are more cosmetic, in my opinion, are too cosmetic. For example, if you say that you are going to be reducing the fuel that government officials use, you are going to be reducing it by 50%. But for example, if they consume about 1,000 gallons in a month and you reduce it by 50%, they are consuming about 5 gallons. I mean, to what extent is this different from what a typical public servant would be using?
That was a development economist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Ejapoma Jake Dakon. Now, away from that, latest figures from the Bank of Ghana indicates that Ghana's total balance of trade recorded a surplus of almost 2 billion Ghana cedis in the first 10 months of the year. This, according to the Central Bank's summary of economic and financial data, is equivalent to about 2.8% of gross domestic product GDP. The surplus recorded is higher than the about $1 billion recorded during the same period in 2021. There is more in the following news desk report.
New figures from the Bank of Ghana indicates that Ghana's total balance of trade recorded a surplus of $1.87 billion in the first 10 months of the year. This, according to the Central Bank's Summary of Economic and Financial Data, is higher than the $1 billion recorded during the same period in 2021. The figures, which summarize Ghana's economic activities for the year ending October 2022, indicate that the country received $14.3 billion from its exports in October 2022 compared to the estimated $12.4 billion it spent on importing goods for the same period. The data shows that both total exports and total imports went up by 17.8% year-on-year and 11.79% year-on-year respectively. The Bank of Ghana data also reveals that gold dominated the total value of exports, recording $5.3 billion in October this year, up from the $4.8 billion recorded in September. Oil followed suit with $4.6 billion worth of exports in the same month under review. However, on account of lower prices and low cocoa purchases, cocoa receipts declined to $1.7 billion in October 2022 compared to the $2.4 billion recorded in October 2021. According to the report, non-oil exports were estimated at $8.5 billion, while oil imports accounted for $3.9 billion for the month of October 2022. Commenting on the data, economist and lead researcher at GCB Capital, Courage Boti, noted that the increase in the trade balance can be attributed to the increase in the price of crude oil on the world market and the increase in gold production in the country.
It is largely due to the output effect when you look at gold and cocoa. I do not have the absolute volumes, but given that prices have declined year on year, and then the export receipts on gold and cocoa have rather increased compared to the previous year, then of course you could say that it has been the output effect that has driven gold from 4.2 billion last year to now 5.3 billion, over 1.1 billion increment in receipts on gold. It's largely driven by the output effect. It means we will produce more gold for the period than we have, given that prices have declined on the market year on year. But if you look at cocoa export, we have moved from October last year from 2.4 billion to now a decline of 1.78, almost 1.8 billion.
That was economist and lead researcher with GCB Capital, Courage Boti, ending that report by Netili Neti. Now on the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks traded amongst themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 13 cedis 11 pesos. The British pound gained 5 pesos and is selling at 15 cedis 79 pesos. The euro lost 1 peso and is selling at 13 cedis 64 pesos. However, at some forex bureaus, the dollar is selling at 14 cedis 90 pesos. The British pound is selling at 17 cedis 50 pesos, and the euro is selling at 15 cedis 30 pesos. Let's now join Gideon Amweniche of Data Bank for the latest updates on the stock market.
Last week, the stock market indices closed on a positive note, led by gains in two stocks. The Ghana Stock Exchange's Composite Index increased by 56 basis points week on week, reducing the year-to-date loss to 11.69%. Likewise, the Data Bank Stock Index advanced 48 basis points week on week, narrowing the year-to-date loss to 13.29%. Ben's Royal Palm Plantation led the gainers for the week, increasing by 69 pesos to 760 pesos, while Trust Bank Gambia moved up by 8 pesos to 76 pesos. Conversely, Unilever Ghana lost 53 pesos to 478 pesos, while SIC Insurance shared 1 peso to 31 pesos. This week, based on the bids and offers outstanding, we forecast Ben's Oil Palm Plantation to make more gains. Total Energies and Guel are expected to decline this week due to selling pressures.
That was Gideon Amweniche of Data Bank. And that does it for the breakfast edition of City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goal, Enterprise Life Your Advantage, Access Bank Modern Banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citybusinessnews.com. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for listening. Do have a good business day. And as always, please stay safe.
Hey, Razi, TME. Hey, Razi, increment in my salary. This is all I ask this season. Hey, Razi, Bwami.
Mpaibo Mbappe, please stop disturbing God and switch your salary account to Access Bank now.
party, of course. Situation 2022. Are you ready to party? We are changing the situation on December 24, 2022 with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. The Situation Outdoor Party 2022. Let's wrap up the year in style with the most epic party to end all parties this Christmas Eve with Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with the most incredible DJs who will keep you dancing all night long. Amazing live band sets and the crooner Akwabua. It is the perfect ingredient for the best party this festive season. Ain't no party like a city party because a city party don't stop. This will be another one to remember. Date Saturday 24th December 2022. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. For table booking, call 020-5973-973 or 055-8973-973. Book your table and make reservations now. Media partners, Ghana Weekend and Citi FM. This is powered by Citi TV. This is a Beyond the Return event.
Hi, have you missed any business news this week?
Our appeal to the banks that it is not enough to show fat profits at the end of the year, publish them in the newspapers, and feel good.
Are you looking for a way to consume business news without getting lost in all of the technical language? Well, for our traders down here, all they care about is the fact that this could likely affect
Conversation.
the cost of doing business.
We used to pay an average of 3,000.
7:13. Coming up next is Kickoff. Kickoff is the latest from the world of sports. Proudly brought to us by Lecheho. Have you updated your records with Lecheho? Remember that the Bank of Ghana is saying that the Ghana card is now the only accepted ID for all financial transactions. So go to a nearest Lecheho branch and update your records with your Ghana card so you are served faster and better. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0574065958 or you can call 0302-208-333. Lecheho, let's improve lives. All right, let's get into kickoff. Daniel Cranting is ready to give you the latest from the world of sports.
Hello, good morning. It's time for kickoff here on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Daniel Cranting. In the headlines, Ghana's Black Stars face South Korea in their second group game at the FIFA World Cup. Knowing defeat will knock them out of the competition, and Morocco stand 2018 semi-finalist Belgium to boost their qualification chances. We start off with the FIFA World Cup, and yesterday saw Group E and Group F action. In Group E, Japan, they were shocked by a 1-0 against Costa Rica. Nicholas Fulkrug's goal cancelled out Alvaro Morata's opener as Spain and Germany played a 1-1 draw. In Group F, Morocco, from goals from Romain Sars and Zakaria Abdukal, they beat Belgium by 2-0. Let's now hear from Belgian head coach Roberto Martinez after his side's defeat.
It's more a mindset. I don't think it's a lack of quality. I don't think it's a technical aspect. I thought we played a lot better on the ball today than we did against Canada, and we got in really, really beneficial positions. Then that next pass was missing, that link-up was missing. In the final third, we couldn't find that spare man. And I do think that is because we played with a fear of losing. It's difficult to see because in the last 6 years we are a team that we always find opportunities to score. We scored goals in almost, I think it's 50 games consecutively, apart from the Holland game, and now that we never find the back of the net. And it comes through the responsibility that the players, they work so hard for each other off the ball, and then on the ball I don't see that enjoyment, and that's what we need to work.
That was Belgium head coach Roberto Martinez speaking there. Let's now hear from Morocco forward Hakim Ziyech. He picked up the Man of the Match award.
Slowly going down, and so I think it's an amazing evening for all of us, and trying to relax and enjoy it a bit now. Yeah, we always believed in it. We know our quality. We know we are a strong team, and I think since the moment we've been here in Qatar, I think we always believed in what we could do, and I think today we showed it as well.
That was Morocco forward Hakim Ziyech speaking there. Elsewhere, Croatia, they were 4-1 winners over Canada. Later today, Ghana's Black Stars will face South Korea in their second group game at the FIFA World Cup. Knowing defeat will knock them out of the competition. City Sports editor Benjamin Ketia is in Qatar, and he has come through with this report.
Following Ghana's controversial 3-2 defeat to Portugal in the opening game of Group H, the Black Stars are all set to take on South Korea in their second group game of the ongoing Qatar 2022 World Cup. The team held its final training session at the Aspire Park, with Otoado having a clean bill of health and also insisting that the hunger and intensity the players have been training with has made it extremely difficult for him to pick a side. Now, as far as team news goes, there's a good chance that Brighton and Hove Albion right fullback Tariq Lamptey will get a longer run out in the game than he did against Portugal. In attack, there's also a chance that Antoine Semenyo will possibly be giving a run out in what might be a shake-up in the final third. If you get to the players themselves, they say that there's no pressure going into this game despite losing their first encounter, that they are poised and they have been helping each other to settle as they get into this particular encounter. When you talk about team news from the Korean side, South Korea head coach Paul Bento says that star defender Kim Min-jae will be a late game decision on whether he gets to play or not. Hwan Hee-chang, however, has been ruled out entirely from this particular encounter. From Doha, Benjamin Nketia reporting for City News.
Now, City Sports editor Benjamin Nketia with that report. Black Stars head coach Otoado says Ghanaians should expect a passionate Black Stars against South Korea later today in the World Cup match. Ghana faces a must-win encounter against the Koreans in their second group game after defeat to Portugal last Thursday. A win will boost the Black Stars' chances of advancing to the last 16.
What I can see, we see a passionate team. We will see the same passion which they showed the last game. This I'm 100% sure is a big stage. Everybody's hungry to play. Training good, making it difficult for me to make decisions, and really looks good. And they will show it, I'm sure. I know that there was a lot of criticism, but because we make mistakes, and it's a little bit funny sometimes that, let's say, people are going on Baba Rahman, for example. Oh, he made a mistake, but they forgot about that he also created our 2 goals, so so people like to pick this and that, but I think in all it was very good, and the boys did well, and hope that we do it again and that it will be rewarded at the end.
That was Black Stars head coach Otoado speaking there. Ghana defender Danny Amate has been speaking about the positives the team picked up after their first game against Portugal.
We have to go with our plan, like our coach told us, so we'll go with the plan. And I think it worked for us, but in the game things can change. First half was good, and second half I think we open up, and then we get more chances to go forward. But I think we learn and we move forward. Yes, our supporters, the supporters good, and I know tomorrow they are going to do the same.
That was Black Stars defender Danny Amate speaking there. Staying on the Black Stars, let's now hear from fullback Tariq Lamptey on his expectations in today's game against South Korea.
I think there were positives from the last game that we have to build upon. We've been training well and working tightly together as a group and listening to what the coach has to say, and we're looking to bring that out in the next game, and we're confident we can get a positive result. Obviously you watched a lot of videos of them, and you know some players from playing against them. So yeah, we know about them. Every team in this competition is a good team and you respect them. But if we work hard and we keep progressing well like we're doing, we hopefully get a good result.
You had Black Stars right fullback Tariq Lamptey speaking there. Now ex-Ghana President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, told City Sport he expects the Black Stars to build up on their performance from the first game.
We
We still have Uruguay and Korea to play, and I'm sure it takes Ghana some time to settle. There's still hope. We've warmed ourselves into the competition, and so we'll see how it goes. The boys have talent, and so this is a Black Stars for the future, for now and for the future. So let's give them all our support, and I'm sure they'll go far. I've seen some new players in there who play fantastic football, and so we have great potential.
You have former President John Dramani Mahama speaking to City Sports. Some local football fans have also been speaking to City Sports ahead of today's game between Ghana and South Korea.
Oh, I expect them to win because they lost their first match. They need to win because if they don't win, that will be a less chance for them to qualify for the next stage. So I expect them to win. So play the match with some kind of commitment and then win the match and move on to the next stage.
Oh, me, I'm expecting them to win.
Well, I'm expecting them to do better than they did. Even though they were able to score, I'm just hoping they do better to even get at least a point.
But getting a point means we are still not doing our best because we already have 0 and getting a 1 point. At least you have to win the match.
I know winning the match would be the best, but then to give us hope, we at home, to give us hope, at least a point will do for us. I feel in the last match, Otuado shouldn't have substituted the captain because he scored the first goal for us. And after scoring the first goal, we not even finished jubilating, and then he substituted him. So that caused our downfall. And I'm just hoping he plays his cards well so that we can at least win the game on Monday tomorrow.
For Ghana, we win 2 goals to 0 because I have confidence for Ghana team because the Ghana and that team, what do you call it? Portugal. The games the guys play is nice. I like the game, but some difference there inside. But the difference with it is like our midfielders are no good. So next time, if we start the midfielders well and we can play better, I think Ghana will score tomorrow.
You heard the thoughts of some local football fans ahead of the Black Stars game against South Korea later today. Moving on before we go, and Brazil head coach Chich says a high number of fouls on Neymar has to be stopped after the forward was injured in their opening group game against Serbia. Neymar appeared to be in tears on the bench after being substituted in the 80th minute with a sprained ankle. The 30-year-old was on the receiving end of a heavy tackle from Nikola Milankovic in the 2-0 win last Thursday. Since his first World Cup back in 2014, Neymar has been fouled 53 times in the competition, at least 11 more than any other player. Neymar will not play in Brazil's remaining group games, but Chich says that he's confident that the PSG forward will feature again in the World Cup. And that brings an end to kickoff here on 97.3 City FM. My name is Daniel Cranting. For more sports news, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff was brought to you by Lachelle.
Trust the process. The biggest things often start small. No matter where you are now, the most important decision you will make today is knowing where you'll be tomorrow. All you have to do is take the next step. Believe in your journey and go with passion. Because when you go with passion, you go big. You explore the possibility. You create the tomorrow of your dreams. So come along and let's go
What
big
do
with
you
our
get
passion.
when you
Apply
mix
for a
the
loan
best
now and
DJs
power
in the
your
country,
ambitions.
the most
Get
amazing
plugged in.
live band sets, delicious cocktails, and wonderful food? Back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group, Prayer, and being serenaded by the brilliantly talented Aquabua. The biggest outdoor party, of course. Situation 2022. Are you ready to party? We are changing the situation on December 24, 2022 with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. The Situation Outdoor Party 2022. Let's wrap up the year in style with the most epic party to end all parties this Christmas Eve with Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with the most incredible DJs who will keep you dancing all night long. Amazing live band sets and the crooner Aquabua. It is the perfect ingredient for the best party this festive season. Ain't no party like a city party because a city party don't stop. This will be another one to remember. Date Saturday, 24th December 2022. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. For table booking, call 020-5973-973 or 055-8973-973. Book your table and make reservations now. Media partners, Ghana Weekend and Citi FM. This is powered by Citi TV. This is a Beyond the Return event.
Those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, champion. Well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss. Yeah. So we saw it. But they have held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him. That this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan, there's a proverb. It's a kwasia na no so nsu a so twati.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was but those days it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was application, So I just took it. When I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me? I was like, Charlie, I've never touched. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you never smoked?
Smoked, no way. No.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Then who comes out of the car? Chachu Chikata and Kojo Chikata. And the Chachu told me that they have, Kojo was sick since the morning and he has been tortured and whatnot, and they have come for medical attention. Of course, naturally, I have to look after them, even though they are very close relatives. So I look at Kojo, I examine him, I notice that he's definitely been tortured. And, there was blood, deep-seated blood in the ears. You can see that clearly.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. for Footprints, only on Citi TV.
Gideon Mensah boy, how can you score while I got no way?
boy for the back. G2 party on the park. Jordan, are you ready? Boys, are you ready? Spot the back, amate. Control the back, Tariq Lamte. It's how cool you ready? Idris Ubabade. Gideon Mensah boy, how can you score while I cut no way? Kudus day, Kudus day, Kudus, Kudus day, Kudus day. It be Kudus game, Kudus game, Kudus, Kudus game, Kudus game. Are you ready? Kudus day, Kudus, Kudus day, Kudus day. It be Kudus game, Kudus game, Kudus, Kudus game, Kudus game. Ghana Black Stars, we ready for anything that go come for this World Cup. No lose, no draw, we winning every single team that go come for this World Cup. We go celebrate, we be champions already. Black Stars never lose, guys. We go celebrate.
Please let me in. Keeper of the gates of wisdom, please let me in. Nyamedina nususo nunkwani mijeno, mekom no bini miche, bicho menyo. Nyamedima kumenyina bema nunsu, onokora no bema miapo, my bro. I need someone to call my own. I need someone to call my own. And I need someone to call my own. Yeah, I need someone to call my own. To hold me down. Yeah, to hold me down. I know, baby, to hold me down, just for.
Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show.
With a text message.
Thoughts and comments are welcome on the number 0549-986-996.
Character go fit accept anything, even if it be copper chef. I need a man, make a show him I be proper chef. Even if it be copper chef, I need a man.
Your birthday message is coming in.
Proper chef. Text.
This one says Michelle Victoria Odbodu of K. Billy Clare International School wishes her first ever teacher, Miss Autry, a blissful birthday. Thank you so much for your love and care, Miss Autry. Please enjoy your day to the fullest.
Let me in.
More messages are welcome on 0549-986-996. Now make life simple on the go. Pay the easy way with the Zenith card, online or in store. Pay the easy way with the Zenith card, and you can pay for your Facebook ads, Netflix, iTunes, Amazon subscription. Do all of that. Use a Zenith card, or using a Zenith card gives you the opportunity to enjoy discounts, experience safe, secure, and convenient card transactions. Think payments, think Zenith. Zenith Bank in your best interest. Now, in this day and age where rent charges are going through the roof and finding accommodation is a major wahala, Ugo Flip is here to make the home ownership journey realistic, fun, and more affordable than you can imagine. Ugo Flip is a real estate gaming company that rewards houses as prizes. In 3 easy steps, log on to ugoflip.com, register with your phone number or email address, and buy as many tickets as possible.
If you know Big Damo with some carrot, my carrot.
You can win a house at Pram Pram or weekly game prizes or one of the many consolation prizes. Now, with Ugo Flip's Win Big game, even if you don't win the ultimate prize, you get rewarded with loyalty points equivalent to $3 a ticket, and these points, when accumulated, may be used as a down payment towards buying your next home with us or with other affiliated property developers. Now, clean water and decent toilets are a human right. Yet 256 million people in West Africa, yes, 256 million, that's 64%, do not have access to a proper toilet. World leaders have signed up to a set of global goals that guarantee these basics, and the clock is ticking. With your help, we can hashtag change the score on decent toilets for all. Follow WaterAid Ghana and WaterAid West Africa on social media for more updates on how to support this campaign. Don't forget to tweet and post with the hashtag change the score.
And this season, GTB gives you 5% discount when you make a bulk purchase of 50 or more fabrics for your organization, your church, your employees, or your clubs. So call Beatrice on 0204 389605. So if you want to get that cloth for your churchy end of Christmas event, or you want to do labor union cloth, 0204 389605 to enjoy your deal today and wow your stakeholders this season. So you can actually call Beatrice and say, look, I want a nice cloth to add to the hamper for the Christmas. So GTV, your lifestyle. And it's the end of year and planning has already started for the festivities. Your shopping list is long, but what shorty cash? Well, SG Ghana is here to sort you out. Spend 500 cedis or more when shopping for friends and loved ones and receive an attractive cashback reward. Simply pay for your shopping with your SG Ghana Visa card at your favorite shop and get an attractive cashback reward for even more shopping. Start shopping today. Call 0302 214 314. That's 0302 214 314. If you are not a customer, sign up now and get a card. Remember, with Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. Terms and conditions apply.
Few birthday messages. This one says, today is my lovely brother's birthday. Jomeku Eli, wishing him the very best in his new age. That's from your sister, or that's from his sister, Jomeku Yara Ama at Odoko. This one says, kindly wish Linda Doreen Ashong, aka Lin Shong, a happy birthday from my colleagues at SNIT Community 2 branch. Have a good day. This one says, I'd like to send a belated birthday wish to Lucy, aka Mama Lou of Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. May the good Lord bless your heart. That's coming from Ruby. More messages are welcome on 0549 986 996. Monday, 28th November, the last Monday of November.
You know,
yeah.
It looks like everything that starts with F is suffering in 2022. Everything, I don't know.
Explain.
So you know, 2022 we have fuel challenge. You are buying 1 gallon of diesel for almost 20 cedis. In fact, it was 23 and came down. So we had a major fuel crisis globally. Now we have a financial crisis as well, because as you know, haircut, barber shop, John Kuma and all those things. So we are not really sure whether it's punk. You know,
Tokyo
there was a haircut called flat top.
Or Tokyo Joe.
Is it Tokyo Joe or Tokyo Joe?
One of them.
Backbush. The haircut that I don't understand is backbush. People look in front of your face. Why do you do backbush? Those who were born in the 80s, please help me.
They add a little bit of Jerry Cares.
No, but
the sporting ways.
The backbush, you know. Is it that the blade finish? But seriously, so we had a fuel crisis. All right, which was triggered by an exchange rate challenge. So you can call it a forex crisis. Forex. We don't have enough forex. So the month of October, the currency depreciated by significant percentages, right? Then you have, so the forex led to a fuel crisis. Then because of the uncertainties around the so-called haircut, you have a finance issue. A lot of banks challenged with liquidity for some of the fund management companies who were cashing out. So you have a finance issue. Now, prior to that, you had a fertilizer problem, where the price of fertilizer, because of Ukraine, Russia, and also because of the forex issue, had escalated, over 40%, in some cases over 100%. So farmers, another F,
that's 4.
Farmers were struggling to get fertilizer at a good price. So you have a fuel prices, you have a forex crisis, you have a finance crisis, you have a fertilizer crisis. All right, now I haven't finished though.
Then farming suffered.
Yes. Now here you are with a food issue, because once there's a farming challenge, there's a food crisis, because food, like I know people who want to buy a lot of rice and save, you know. We usually would give people rice for Christmas and things. Now people are trying to make sure they have the rice to eat first. I have people who are saying to me that we will not get rice next year because the rice didn't dry early and all of those issues. Okay, and I don't know if you read a story this morning about rice. It was a rice story. Just one rice, something. Now, Saturday, Daily Graphic Weekend, the Lara Soloklu did a story. Fish crisis. Tell me why. Fish crisis at them. But I'm not going to go in the full step. But basically, she's saying that only 4 out of 76 commercial fishing vessels are functional. So from forex to fuel to food to finance to fertilizer to farmers, now you have fish. Are they?
Fishy.
I mean.
And you know, Bernard, I mean, I think it's important we look at the story more closely because it's coming at a time where we were told last week that even egg production is suffering and the cost of egg and the affordability of the same becoming an issue. And if you look at the fact that we require a lot or good amounts of protein to grow our kids, and because many people are increasingly getting in trouble trying to afford the same, it becomes an issue. So what kinds of food are we feeding our children? And I'm just looking at statistics.
Statistics.
The Statista. This globally respected website that documents what's happening in countries. Now, if you look at marine and inland fish production in Ghana between 2014 and 2018, we're told that the numbers have been looking really bad for us over the last few years. Now, this is published by Doris Dokwa Sasu on the November 30, 2021, and it says that over 294,000 metric tons of marine fish were produced in Ghana in 2018.
Okay.
As of the same year, inland fish production reached around 73.6 thousand metric tons. Now, both sources of fish production decreased over the previous years. Now, if you look at the numbers, they tell you that in 2018, so we had 294,240. That is marine. By inland, it was 73,628. In 2017, we have 342,427. That was marine. And then inland was 76,700.
So both marine and inland fish
are having challenges. Yeah, are having challenges. So there is a steady decrease over the years in terms of how much we are producing. And Bernard, let's not forget that there is a role being played by Galamsey in this particular space.
For the inland side particularly.
Exactly, because many of the folks who do fishing inland rely on the water bodies that we have in Ghana. And the fear is that if we take that towards the Volta Lake, it will create its own devastating effect. So
pray they don't get there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a major issue that we have to look at because fish is. I mean, when I went to the Volta region over the weekend, fish.
You didn't tell me.
And no.
Your brother. You go home. You don't tell us. You wanted to eat tilapia soup.
But even
Nathan, there's a certain specialty the Anglos do. They do banku with tilapia lice soup.
Thank you.
Oh my
tilapia God. And you will sprinkle some fetri.
Oh my Lord.
Alongside some baby.
So when you went, what was the issue with the fish?
No. So you see, they have given a large lagoon that we used to fish in to some foreign company that is using it to produce salt.
Oh, so now they have migrated from fish to salt.
Yeah, so my information is that they are pumping seawater into the basin
to now do salt.
To now, win salt.
Maybe they are employing people.
No, you see, that's the issue. That's the issue. They may employ 1 or 2 people, but it undermines, it destroys the economic base and life of the people because what we were into when we were in that part of town was fishing from the lagoon and then also the sea.
So you are using that as an example of the challenge that different industries are posing to fishing.
Exactly.
So the mining, the salt issue, some people is real estate. All of that is affecting fishing. I wanted Nathan to give us the highlights of the story that the lad did, and then we can check the
So I mean, if you go through the story, it says that the effect of everything that's happening is that fish harvesting at the Tema Fish Harbour fell by 50% February this year.
Wow.
Okay. Now recording 2,650 tons as against the January production of 5,383 tons.
That's a big decline.
That's a big decline. Now, since May this year, the fishing harbour has not equaled the January record, with industrial vessels accounting for between 3,900 and 4,100 tons of fish.
What is going on?
Okay. Now, the crisis has led dealers to increase the importation of fish.
Ghana.
Okay, thereby increasing the cost in the local retail market. Now, some fish brokers and sellers who participated in a daily graphic survey revealed that they had been using truck services to cart fish, mostly from Cote d'Ivoire and Sierra Leone, to supplement frozen imports packed in large cold stores at the harbour. Now, the trawl sector, which is used to license demersal fishes, groupers, threadfins, silver... Demersal. Okay, demersal.
Yeah.
Thank you. Demersal.
They have pelagics.
Yes.
Some names like that.
Yeah. Now, have over the years been under scrutiny of allegations on the use of wrong gear to harvest surface level and juvenile fishes, which is passed on to psycho traders.
Yes, psycho.
Psycho.
S-A-I-K-O.
Psycho traders.
Psycho.
That is persons involved in...
Which is illegal because fish of a certain age are not to be harvested. They are to be allowed to grow naturally, but there are people who are killing them young. So it's a major issue. Only 4 of the vessels are working.
Yep.
Now, fish is a major source of protein, particularly for the poor, because meat is more expensive. So I'm sure there are people who have more information about this who can give us further insights.
Yes, let's speak to Register Ni Amafio. He's secretary of the Ghana Tuna Association. I didn't know that.
So the tuna is much more deep sea. Okay. But still, I'm sure he has an overview of the situation.
He's a clear voice in that space.
No. When you wake him up at midnight, fish, pelagic. Everything fish.
All right, let's continue. Richard, good morning. Welcome to the Citi Breakfast Show.
Good morning, sir. I'm no longer the secretary of the Ghana Tuna Association. I'm actually the secretary of the National Fisheries Association.
We don't care. You are the international fisherman.
Richard, thank you for joining us. We are reading something quite troubling from the weekend edition of the Daily Graphic, saying that fishing vessels aren't working. A lot of the vessels are not functioning. And
only 4
out of 76 commercial fishing vessels are functional. I mean, what do you know of this, and what can you tell us about the current state and whether or not we are facing a crisis when it comes to fish production in Ghana?
I think we are already facing a crisis. It's not because of the state of our vessels. We are facing a lot of fish crisis because our Sardinella stocks, the small pelagic, are in a sharp decline. They are near collapse. And so this time you don't hear people say more as they used to say, because we don't have a lot of them. Yes, it's true that we don't have a lot of our trawl vessels licensed to fish due to a number of factors. One of it being that after the incident of Comfort 1 or 2, the Maritime Authority has stepped up its survey activities and ensuring that all the vessels are safe and seaworthy. And so they are taking the players through a lot of routines to ensure that they present vessels that are actually seaworthy. That is one. The other factor has to do with the cost of fishing, because right through January, February, some vessels had challenges because fuel is a major component of the operational cost of all vessels. And so some vessels are unable to meet the high rise in fuel prices. We use marine gasoline, and so the high rise in fuel prices is becoming a challenge to a lot of the operators. So when they are not able to buy fuel, it means that they are unable to fish. And then the third bit has to do with the current economic situation that we face, because the exchange rate keeps going up, and we import almost all our inputs, and so we are faced with crisis because the currency situation is not favorable. So these three factors, we even pay our license fees and everything pegged to the dollar. So the raise and prices keep going up. It increases operational cost. And for the trawlers, they also have to now modify their net in order to avoid catching small pelagic, which they normally would give out as cycle fish, which had been banned. And so with the modification of the net, which was not piloted, some of the vessels are scared that they may go buy fuel, go fishing, and not make much. So these are some of the factors. And because they have also modified the net and is under a ministerial directive, all the vessels would need to meet that requirement of the net. So those that have not been able to meet the requirement yet are not licensed to fish. So these are the factors that have contributed to the number of vessels that are unable to fish.
Okay.
Besides, some of the vessels are also deflagging. They are trying to take on other national flags, so they don't operate under Ghana flag anymore. They operate under some other national flags. So we need to get all the dust to settle to know exactly where we are, how many vessels we would have operating under Ghana flag, and how many vessels would be able to storm the weather and continue to fish.
If you could say draw a timeline, if you could go back in time, can you tell us when some of these challenges started to emerge, and how we got into this point where we are at a crisis? 4 out of 76 vessels are only functioning.
Well, like I said, from January, some of the vessels were not able to buy fuel because then you had the issue of the fuel prices going up. So the challenge started from there. Then by June, there was a directive that after the close season in August, from September 1st, all the vessels will have to use a new net design, which was intended to reduce the harvesting of small pelagic, or what we call the sardinelles and the mackerel. So that once the new design came, it was not actually piloted. So the piloting was supposed to be done by the fishing vessels. And the design and the dimensions came in a bit late. So all the vessels will now have to modify their net to meet that design. Just around that time, we've had the incident with Comforter 1, where the vessel sank. So Maritime Authority now needed to step up their survey to ensure that all the vessels, both trawl and tuna, meet the required minimum safety standard. And once that came up, it means that things would have to be done some other way to ensure that any vessel that flies Ghana flag meets those required safety standards. And that also means you could not get your safety certificate from the Maritime Authority, which is a prerequisite to the acquisition of a fishing license. So once you don't have your safety certificate because you do not meet their standard, you cannot also qualify to have your fishing license. Meanwhile, you also need to modify your net to meet the new requirements that have been set by the Fisheries Commission. Okay. So we are expecting that by 31st December, and of course around this time, when you pay your quarterly license, which is very high, you may not be able to even fish for half a quarter. So it would not be prudent for you to pay your quarterly license. All licenses will terminate on 31st December. Okay. So from 1st January, we'll actually have a clearer picture as to which the number of vessels that will be able to fish in the coming year. So that's the situation we are faced with.
All right, Rista, 2 final questions. One, what policy change do you think is needed to save the fishing industry and turn things around? And then finally, based on everything you've said, will we get fish to consume this Christmas?
Of course, we will get fish. We still have a lot of tuna in our waters. We just need to change our taste a bit to have more to start consuming a lot more of tuna. But that is on the lighter note.
Okay.
When it comes to the issue of policy, I think that we have everything wrong, Because you see, we are thinking about management. What we should be thinking about is restoration. Because when you have a sector that is basically collapsing, what you need to think about is how to bring it back, how to restore it. So the agenda should be restoration of our fisheries. And restoration of our fisheries is not exclusive. It's inclusive of the fishing environment, your water bodies, all the water bodies, including the inland water bodies where we've allowed Galamsey to destroy them. Our brackish water. We need to change our mentality towards construction. You can't continue to construct drains and channel them into natural water bodies. We need to look at our waste management because plastics are all over in our oceans. How do we ensure that? So it is not a specific sector challenge. It is a national crisis that we have faced with the fishery sector. So we need a policy that is directed at addressing these problems that we have as a nation and ensure that our fisheries are restored and rebound. We have basically been relying on imported fish. This Christmas is sad, but we would have to continue to deal with the imported fish. And we will have to live with imported fish for a long time until we decide as a country that no, we can't do this anymore. We need to look toward the direction of restoring everything that has to do with our fisheries resources. And that the plan is no longer about managing what is already destroyed, but it should be towards restoration. That to me, I think, is the way to go.
Okay, Richard, thank you so much for your time. Can you just run by us your new designation and your new association so we can...
No, it's not a new association. You see, National Fisheries Association of Ghana is the umbrella body of all the various fisheries associations.
Okay.
So Ghana Tourism Association is under the National Fisheries Association.
And what's your designation with the association?
I'm the acting secretary of the National Fisheries Association of Ghana.
Okay.
We are in the process of reforming it and making it a more responsive association to all the sector needs.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. That was Rich Stani Amafio, acting secretary of the National Fisheries Association. So yeah, we can add another F to the long list.
I think we should just talk about football because
no. Hopefully that doesn't get into.
Look, you have the whole Volta League, and then you have a great coastline, which is very long from Keta to Elubo. Why should you be importing?
It's not
fish?
from Keta. It's actually from.
No, it's not from Keta. From Aflao to Elubo.
Yeah.
Why should you be importing fish?
It doesn't make sense.
Let's talk about football because if you want to do this fish thing, it's Monday.
No, it's Monday.
Let's talk about Hyomin Song and Pate.
You see, better we'll do that. But
Atizigi. Because this fish matter, Charlie.
No, it's depressing. I know it's depressing, but you see, it puts so many jobs. Yeah, that's right. It puts so many jobs on the line because, look, to be very frank with you, if you take fish out of the equation, Richard Sky wouldn't be sitting in front of you.
Oh, are you that intimate?
No. Yeah, that's right. Because my mother comes from Seva, which is an island in the belly of the Anglo enclave.
Okay.
You understand? So you have Anyako, Atiavi, and all these, Afiarimba, and Keta, all these, Azaji, all these communities around it. But it is an island. Then my father's side is from Adafianu, which is also...
You're about 6.
I took a photograph, I'll show you.
I need it.
Which is a coastal community and also has a vast, lagoon seated just behind it. So you have the sea here, the strip of land in between where the people live, and then you have the lagoon. So fishing it is like it's in our blood. It's who we are.
The lifestyle.
Exactly. And my mother sold fish all these years in the market, and she
fresh
still
or dry.
Exactly. No. So you sell the dry one and the smoked one.
So it means you know the names of the fishes.
Yeah, that's right. And I can mention them. Pala is there. Salomo is there. Togo is there. Akpatogui.
Yes, please.
Abobi.
Yes.
Pochi.
Yes, please.
All this. They are all there. So all these years, back in the village, before I would go to school, I would go to the market because sometimes they imported the fish from outside the region. Cape Coast and these other communities.
Depending on the season.
The season. Yeah. And then Tema, the Tema Fishing Harbour, they normally will smoke the fish or dry it. Then they will bring it all the way to the Denu market.
Good.
We'll go there in the morning, offload it from the vehicle, and then we'll head port it to the market.
Okay.
And my mom, together with the relations, will sell it to people who come from all over.
Your mother will sell as a wholesaler, sort of.
Yes, sort of, because normally the owners come with it, but they know the economics of it in the market. So the trading, how you
then give it to the retailers.
The retailers. So they come from Togo, Benin, Nigeria in some cases to buy it from there. But we do the head porting to the market itself, pay ticket to the local assembly, and then we sell it there. So you learn how fish is traded in that market. They open it, how much is it? They start from a high price, reduce it gradually, and then, they sell it. So that was how I was.
Fish paid your school fees.
Exactly, fish paid my school fees. So anything about it affects, because, if you were hungry and you didn't have protein, you go to the sea.
You get
fish. Otherwise, you go to the lagoon.
So do you know how to fish?
Yes.
You can pull the rope.
Yeah. Look, pulling the rope, this is the seaside. Okay. You pull that. Then you also have the, what do you call it? Nadoha, which is like, I don't know how to call it.
Is that a trap?
Yeah, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. We use broomstick to make it. So you put it in the water. There's a whole scale around it. Then there's you trap the fish. So it goes inside. It cannot come out. That's one way. Or you go and do the what do you call it? Ave dufu.
The hook.
The hook one. That's also another side to it. Then there's something also known as tekali, which
Daniel, sit down and listen. Can you trap a fish? If I mention my name, if I tell you my name, can you mention it?
Yeah, tekali. Tekali, you have a long rope. Yes. Two people are pulling it.
Yeah, man.
Then you have some handkerchief behind it. But the rope is fairly heavy.
I tell you.
So when you are pulling it in the Keta Lagoon,
yes, please,
the fishes somehow get rattled. So they start burying their heads. Then you have about 30, 100 or 200 people behind the rope, picking the fish as you pull it. So two people in front. Trap. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So they bury their heads in
and then you just
sand.
collect the fish.
You just pick it up. And then you have a tukpahe. Tukpahe is where you have a bottle.
A master class on
trapping.
No, what is the fishometry? Physiology. Charlie, let's finish the thing because I want to enter this aquatogo business.
Tech and social media trends comes up next and is brought to us by Cowbank. Cowbank can say whatever you're doing Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just use the Cowbank card and you're good to go. Shop and shop and shop till you drop. Send an email customercare@cowbank.net or call them toll free 0800 500 500. Cowbank forward together. And Vodafone is also bringing us the segment, and they're asking if you have not yet registered your SIM card, then by the 30th of November it will be inactive. Don't fall into that group. Just dial *400# to check your biometric capture. If it says no, visit any Vodafone retail center to have your registration completed. Don't wait until you're disconnected. Complete your registration now to avoid any inconvenience. Daniel Quanting is back. He's got the segment for us this morning.
Nathan.
Yep.
Do you know what an ongo is?
OG, yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
Today. If it will take an ongo for us to get 3 points, I like.
No how.
I don't care. I don't care. Ongo.
By thunder, by fire.
Last minute. By fire, by force. The 3 points is by force.
It will happen.
Black Stars is trending giddy. Now people are hot too, because if we lose today, we are out.
We are out. Hey!
Charlie. If we lose today, we are out too. So Charlie, Black Stars is trending. Otuado is trending. People are warning Otuado. They say today, if there was ever a day you have to be perfect, it is today. Be perfect. Get that 3 points for us, Otuado. And the technical team. Or when you come back, he will sack you. It's not any long thing. He will sack you.
Saki, the man, he's leaving after the World Cup, so he's sacking.
We'll sack him.
So just to feel good about yourself.
75th minute. If we see we are losing, we'll sack him 70. He should live there. Messi is also trending.
Yeah.
Saturday, Argentina win Ghana soup. But Lionel Messi, the guy is a problem. It's a problem.
You can't hate
Lionel Messi. Saturday I was watching the game. I said, God, if this guy finishes football, this guy and the other one, we watch again.
Such a delight. To watch.
Genius, one touch, edim, simple.
Ochoa knows it all.
Oh, Ochoa.
This is Lionel Messi we are talking about.
He's the goat's goat. Lionel Messi. No.
Through a crowd of players.
Oh, I'm telling you. See, did you what's ahead?
He said he's the goat. Hey!
The goat of the
Who's nephew? Have you admitted? Or what
is the goat's goat?
But Messi is the goat.
Charlie, Messi is too much. It's too much. I can't. Blacko is in the trends.
Okay.
Oh,
Blacko.
Black Sherry. Charlie, 2022.
It's his year.
Hey, they should wrap it and give it to him. Blacko.
It's all over.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's on Stormzy's new album.
Thank you.
The title of the album is "This Is What I Mean."
Oh man,
he's on the track. This is what I mean.
Yeah. But you know, the one that I feel, you know, that's on it for me right now, is the one he did with Sarkodie. You know, Countryside. I mean, there's something about that you know, Charlie, you're having a long distance drive.
Yeah, you're playing.
Charlie, you just
Countryside.
You know,
it's the way he entered the track.
Oh man,
He dropped the way he just.
No.
Guys, he's different, Charlie. US, they've banned the sale and import of new communication equipment from 5 Chinese companies, including Huawei, ZTE, amid concerns over national security.
Hey,
serious.
This is a serious matter.
Yeah. If you're in the US, you can't buy a Huawei ZTE phone.
Trade war.
You've locked them.
Trade war.
It was coming.
Yeah, I mean,
it was always coming. But this is the first time that they've taken such a serious move. We don't know how long it will be, but we know that for now, these products are banned
in the US.
Great. Now, second social media trends brought to us by Cowbank and Vodafone.
Massa, make what make you go. You need to go to the bank first before we go and pay for the things. Time no day like that too.
Relax. Everything they in my hand inside.
Massa, you need to get the cash.
Forget the cash. See, transfer, payment. I did use the Cowbank app. No stress. Slow for me. Still for Goma.
What do you get when you mix the best DJs in the country, the most amazing live band sets, delicious cocktails, and wonderful food? Back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group, Prayer, and being serenaded by the brilliantly talented Aquabua. The biggest outdoor party, of course. Situation 2022. Are you ready to party? We are changing the situation on December 24, 2022 with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. The Situation Outdoor Party 2022. Let's wrap up the year in style with the most epic party to end all parties this Christmas Eve with Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with the most incredible DJs who will keep you dancing all night long. Amazing live band sets and the crooner Aquabua. It is the perfect ingredient for the best party this festive season. Ain't no party like a city party, because a city party don't stop. This will be another one to remember. Date Saturday 24th December 2022. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. For table booking, call 020-5973-973 or 055-8973-973. Book your table and make reservations now. Media partners, Ghana Weekend and City FM. This is powered by City TV. This is a Beyond the Return event. What do you get when you mix the best DJs in the country, the most amazing live band sets, delicious cocktails, and wonderful food? Back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group, Prayer, and being serenaded by the brilliantly talented Aquabua. The biggest outdoor party, of course. Situation 2022. Are you ready to party? We are changing the situation on December 24, 2022 2022 with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. The Situation Outdoor Party 2022. Let's wrap up the year in style with the most epic party to end all parties this Christmas Eve with Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with the most incredible DJs who will keep you dancing all night long. Amazing live band sets and the crooner Akwabua. It is the perfect ingredient for the best party this festive season. Ain't no party like a city party because a city party don't stop. This will be another one to remember. Date Saturday 24th December 2022. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. For table booking, call 020-5973-973 or 055-8973-973. Book your table and make reservations now. Media partners, Ghana Weekend and Citi FM. This is powered by Citi TV. This is a Beyond the Return event.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, champion. Well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss.
Yeah.
So we saw it. But they have held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him. That this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan there's a proverb. It's a kwasia na no so nsu so chati.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was but those days it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was aquateshi, So I just took it when I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me? I'm like, Charlie, I'll never touch it. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you
never smoked. Remember today at 9 a.m. We'll give you the November serving of EdTech Monday. There is a platform for EdTech entrepreneurs, education stakeholders, and government reps to facilitate critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. Now, EdTech Monday builds on the foundations Young Africa Work Strategy in Ghana with a vision of harnessing opportunities to shape the future of work and to create an inclusive economy with enhanced resilience for young people and the most vulnerable, especially women, by 2023. Now, it's an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation's Regional Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning in ICT. So MasterCard Foundation has partnered with Mest Africa to bring you EdTech Monday, airing on the last Monday of every month. And the last Monday of November is today. So at 9 a.m., we'll be live on this show on Facebook Live, Citi 97.3 FM, or Mest Africa's Facebook page. Join us then. Later today, the Black Stars are also playing at 1 p.m. So it's a very hectic day.
It's the only F that we don't have a problem yet. Forex, finance, fuel, fertilizer, food, fish. In fact, Mauli said the way all these problems are going, families have got problem. If you don't have forex, you don't have finance, you don't have fuel, you don't have food,
you're done.
Charlie, but 2023, we have to pray. In fact, we have to live by faith. Because, when I listen to the budget, what I'm hearing is that next year it's going to be tight. As my former boss used to say, he said to be tight like monkey buttocks. Because I said to be hard like monkey buttocks.
It's alright, Charlie.
He said the just shall live by faith. I'm serious. Sky, if you can't buy fuel, if food is going to be scarce, farmers don't have fertilizer to plant. Your money in the bank, you're not sure what's happening. You don't have foreign currency. And fish that you used to do this thing, light soup to drink, that one too, you don't get. Only football and faith.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the only two things that we just take organized. People like it's true.
We'll go to some of the comments. Scala, you were telling us
about the fish.
Yes, your
fish matter.
Yeah, so I was saying that. So the other was the, what do you call it? The tupahe, where you use bottle. There's a way of cutting it. You understand? To trap fish.
Pascal, you see, all these things you are saying is part of the problem. You see, we have not modernized our fishing. So people bring big trawlers, they bring big money, and they push that out. Whilst I agree that fishing is a lifestyle, if you don't add technology and know how to what you do, you will remain poor.
You see, that's
and our government, all they do is they give people premix, they come and do this, get votes. Instead of finding a way to help, it's like farming. You can't be using hoe and cutlass and feed the nation. You see, it's the same thing. I agree with canoe fishing and things. Charlie, if some big vessel comes, 30 staff with all the machines, they will outfish you. So we have to also be open to change.
I agree with
that.
You,
this is your method you are doing with all these gammo and things to catch fish. No way.
No. You see,
this is your,
you see,
the fish that you were 7 years old you are doing. You are now 39. You are still fishing with gammo.
Hold on, brother. I'm saying that.
In fact, you are even 40.
Brother, I am saying that. Let's assume that there is a problem, and indeed there is a problem. And deal with it, which is what I am trying to deal with. So what was the situation previously? We were using all of these methods to get fish to the market. Now we are intervening with all kinds of policy and lack of policy, which is even killing what we were sending to the market in the first place. Imagine if we were even using the old ways of getting fish to the market and making sure that at least some get to reach there. Now we can't even find the fish in the water because someone thought that it was wise to give a whole wetland which the locals relied on for fish to someone to do salt winning. Again, we also have in the system people who are doing galamsey. Lack of regulation, lack of intervention from central government and local governments have resulted in decimation of many of our water. And I dare say the majority of our water bodies. So inland fishing has gone down. Do you understand?
Probably apart from the Volta.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that appears to be left now. Yeah. But you see, the Volta is also
fed by the Pra, the Densu, the Birim, all of them have been damaged by galamsey. You can't get any fish anymore.
And you see, the danger is that all of these tributaries we have, like these water bodies across the country, they feed at some point into the Volta Lake to a large extent. So that if increasingly all of them, get so polluted that they die out, what happens to the Volta Lake? Electricity will get hit, and then the fish we have in there too will be seriously devastated. So yes, it's a good thing. We should go commercial, which means that we can have the Volta Lake, which is about 1.5 hours from Accra, depending on where you are passing and how fast you are driving. Sitting there, and we do not have massive commercial scale, fish farming, which is we are producing enough to feed the whole of Ghana.
Serious.
Why should we be importing tilapia?
I don't understand.
To feed the people of Ghana.
And the other problem is that if you are not importing tilapia from China, Chinese are coming to do tilapia in your Volta.
Yes.
It means that what can you do? Like what is it that do we need deliverance? Like what is our problem? Charlie! We can't even harvest our own fish.
Catfish.
We can't even produce our own vessels.
Yes. We are buying from Cote d'Ivoire.
We need Korean vessels come and teach us how to fish. Charlie, our development is a major issue. That's why I said let's talk about football for today. Because if you want to deal with this matter,
Bernard,
it's sad.
I'm trying to tie it into the job situation because already, if people are losing jobs, look, when I went to my hometown,
boys are just home.
Charlie, it's heartbreaking.
3 SHS, they should go to school.
No, Bernard, it is not just about, you see, Obade, Nana do not domere. I feel you understand?
Something has to be in your stomach before you can do other things. So food is basic.
Yes.
Okay, we are giving you this thing, 1 hot meal a day.
What is in
we are giving you a school feeding program now.
You have to chase the fish inside.
No. You see, we have made fair tests, so now you don't have an excuse. You have to go to school, and we'll give you food in school.
No. You see,
so we have solved your problem.
No.
What's your problem?
It's not working the way it has got to work.
Really?
Yes, because look.
When you went to, what did you see?
Look, Charlie, you can see poverty written on the faces of friends, relations, and you see that the situation is so bad that it was worsened by the closure of the border.
Yeah,
because
so the economy was decimated.
Exactly. A lot of the economic activity there relied on the opening of the border. People came from Nigeria, Benin, and Togo to buy. You understand? And by closing the border for 2-3 years or so, as it was, they decimated
the economy and the spillover into Denu and all those places has gone down.
The economy is dead.
Yeah.
And you have taken their water from them, the lagoon away from them. How are the people going to pay school fees in the first place? So it's all manner of things that are operating on their mind.
But is fishing the only thing they can do? Can't they do like farming?
Yeah, so they do backyard farming or gardening. It's not
large scale.
Yeah, within that economy, you can call it large scale farming, but it's not really large scale farming. So
you can't sustain it for a year.
Yeah, that's right. They grow tomatoes, they grow shallot, boma, onions, all kinds of spinach and all of these things. So that is one way of going. Getting them jobs. So if you take this away, and we say that employment into the public sector. We are restricting it. We are going to kill so many people. So, as you were saying, let's think about modernization. Getting into the space with modern ways of doing things in the farming and the fishing sector.
Yep.
But while we do that, let's also ensure that people they don't take what is their livelihood away from them. Because if you go to Adafianu, Agoko, Adina, Anyangui, all of these places, and you have taken fishing away from them, Charlie, that is a very, very serious matter.
A lot of them too are young and they have to then get pregnant.
Exactly.
So you find cycles of poverty being repeated in fishing communities, teenage pregnancy. Yes. It's a really depressing situation, honestly speaking. And I'm sure some of the comments would testify to that.
0549 986 996. I'll go through some of the messages. This one says, Ghana is a funny country. We lock the sea for months to prevent our fishermen from working in the name of replenishing the sea while Chinese trawlers scoop everything away. It says, are we serious at all?
I'm not even sure we have control of our fish. What's the name of our? I don't know. I don't know how you control of our water. Because you'll be there, then EU will give you some boat to patrol, to check for pirates. So you can't even police your own waters.
Can you imagine?
So what would they take the money do?
All right, this one says,
what do you do with the money?
It's sad.
You don't have money to do anything.
This one says, Dela, you are too good by giving the breakdown of fishing activities. That's coming from Believe.
In Adafianu.
Yeah, that's my town.
Proper man.
Believe.
Coming from Dansoman is saying, Forex, fuel, food, fertilizer, fish. Why are problems today all starting with an F?
Because we are getting F.
We are failed.
We are getting F in everything.
Kwesi Akwa is asking, is there any single industry that has been well managed? Okay. Another message. This one says the Volta River is already under threat. A vessel was recently prospecting for minerals on the Volta disguised as a dredging machine, I think. They had to be chased away by the community and some stakeholders.
Are you sure? Give us the details. Please send us more information through the back door. It's a serious issue.
Wow. So those are some messages coming in on 0549 986 996.
So what was the conclusion on the fishing?
My conclusion on the fishing is that it's quite obvious the ministry has struggled to deal with the fishing issue the past decade or so. No improvements have come. They've struggled to deal with cycle.
Same problems.
Delara Soloklu, I think sometime last year or early this year, if I'm not mistaken, she listens to the show, she can just send in the information. Actually did a report on the sheer number of fishing trawlers that were working in Ghana that were actually not Ghanaian, because there's a law that deals with those. But you go and check, they are registered.
So a Ghanaian will partner in name, and then is it like Chinese, Korean?
Yes. And then they were also, some of these trawlers were also engaged in unsustainable ways of fishing.
Psycho being number one.
And all these things alongside other effects, the climate change and all those things, have also come in to really, really worry us along the coast. On this side. It's not just a Ghanaian problem. Senegal has the same problem that we're talking about. Benin, Sierra Leone, all of them along
West Africa.
Yes, and the fishing stock has been heavily exploited.
Depleted, yes.
And they really need to find something. But I also think that perhaps we also need to take a look at some of the agreements we have, because most of the time we end up having these conversations, and it turns out that we've signed something somewhere that allows somebody to come and fish here.
Exactly.
And you can't do anything. You can only watch them as they fish. If you talk, you lose some benefit somewhere.
Or some highly connected person. In one of the trawlers
somewhere.
So that will be
See, so we really need our ministry to be up and doing on this particular matter. Like you said, it's not just a matter of premix. I'm just looking at the document, and that even looks at the fact that if you're looking at the industrial fleet that operates this side, the Eastern Atlantic, for instance, illegal fishing here reaches 37%. The global average is 18%.
So we are double the global average.
We are double the global average. And now most of the fleets here belong to the EU countries, China, Russia, Taiwan, Korea.
The same.
And you know why? Because we cannot police our
so what can we do?
Yeah, but most of them will tell you that they have agreements. But we need to scrutinize those agreements better.
Yeah, you see, normally you may have agreement on paper as to how far
you can fish.
You can't enforce it.
But we cannot enforce
because
it.
so they the story where they put in the Ghanaian Times that the EU has given us a boat to police our coastal waters against a boat, and then we go and cut short to receive the boat.
So
it's a serious matter.
The fish thing.
And it's not just fish. You see, even with our minerals.
Yes.
The average revenue we get from our minerals compared to Botswana gets at least 60%. Of the value of diamonds. Nigeria gets about 57%. Ghana gets less than 20%. So our ineffective institutions and our lazy implementation of policy.
You see, and then here,
what is causing us all this?
The big problem here is if you look at the last article, she looks at the export numbers. Sorry, the import numbers. $200 million worth, and now we have a fish crisis at the harbour. Only 4 of 76. This is a time where we are supposed to reduce our importation. There's no fish. So certainly, what do? We have to bring.
Maybe you have to send Freduho back to the coast, Sky.
We have to.
To go and talk to your people again.
It's that's right. Because look, if we destroy this, look at the numbers along the entire coast. And
no, because election is coming, to become an election issue.
Yes.
Then they'll vote. Then they'll do the same thing to them too.
No, Charlie,
let's talk about black stars. Why? Because this fish thing is depressing me.
You haven't eaten fish in a while.
I haven't eaten fish in a while. But you eat fish on a regular.
No, I like this thing, dry fish. The one that is chasing his tail. The fish that is chasing his tail. When you used to do like...
Which one is that? Oh, gearbox, you mean?
No, the
fish.
I mean, I don't know the name.
Yeah, it's like gearbox.
And you take the lice away, they add this thing like yam, chimenukwe.
Pepper today is like...
And when you know where pepper... Then they put and they put some of the other dry fish, amani. They put that on to
that's right, lababi.
Yes. And they boil the sometimes they use cocoa and they boil it into the thing. It will just revive you. It's powerful. So if your child is not strong, do chimenukwe for him. Dry fish.
0549986996. Coming up next is Your Money. Your Money is brought to you by CBG. CBG is saying we stand. This morning.
Well, this morning I want to just explain a controversial expression that has become very common among investors. It's called mark to market. So before mark to market, when you put money in an investment, whether with EDC, Data Bank, Stanbic or Fidelity, in terms of this, they call them fund management companies, the money will be held to maturity. That's what they would do. So you give them 10,000 CDs, you buy whatever. They will hold the amount, and then at maturity, you get what accrues. So when you want to exit, you will be advised to wait till the 10, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year, or whatever. Now, with mark-to-market, because market conditions have deteriorated, when interest rates rise, the value of your investment also falls. So the price of the bond that you bought comes down. So if you want to exit before maturity, in fact, if you want to exit even at maturity, they calculate now your mark-to-market value is discounted based on the value at which the price of the asset has come down. So you notice that you are going to earn less around this period. So a couple of things.
If you decide to withdraw.
Because a couple of things. Always read the fine print before you get into an investment and ask whether they are using hold to maturity or mark to market. Of course, SEC is now saying they should all do mark to market. Number 2, it's always better when there's panic to wait. Because when you draw now, you may lose unless you need it urgently, for which you have to remove it. But I'm sure the SEC has more information on this. So the key point is that now all your investments will be marked to market. So you must understand the market conditions before you withdraw your money. If the market conditions are not good and you withdraw, you lose. If the market conditions are great, your mark to market value will be great.
That's a tip for us this morning. Very insightful, very educated. That was Your Money. Your Money brought to you by CBG. CBG, we stand with you.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
A bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you, hand in hand. We stand with you, so lift your head up, big dreams are waiting.
What do you get when you mix the best DJs in the country, the most amazing live band sets, delicious cocktails, and wonderful food? Back-to-back hit music from Ghana's finest group, Prayer, and being serenaded by the brilliantly talented Akwabua. The biggest outdoor party, of course. Situation 2022. Are you ready to party? We're changing the situation on December 24, 2022 with the biggest outdoor party in Accra. The Situation Outdoor Party 2022. Let's wrap up the year in style with the most epic party to end all parties this Christmas Eve with Situation. Make your Christmas Eve come alive with the most incredible DJs who will keep you dancing all night long. Amazing live band sets and the crooner Akwabua. It is the perfect ingredient for the best party this festive season. Ain't no party like a city party, because a city party don't stop. This will be another one to remember. Date Saturday 24th December 2022. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. For table booking, call 020-5973-973 or 055-8973-973. Book your table and make reservations now. Media partners, Ghana Weekend and Citi FM. This is powered by Citi TV. This is a Beyond the Return.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, champion. Well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss. Yeah. So we saw it. But they have held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him. That this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan, there's a proverb. It's a kwasia na no so nsu so chati.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was but those days it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was aquateshi, So I just took it. When I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me? I was like, Charlie, I'll never touch it. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you never smoked?
Smoke, no way. No.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Then who comes out of the car? Chachu Chikata and Kojo Chikata. And Chachu told me that they have, Kojo was sick since the morning, and he has been tortured and whatnot, and they have come for medical attention. Of course, naturally, I have to look after them, even though they are very close relatives. So I look at Kojo, I examine him, I notice that he's definitely been tortured. And, there was blood, deep-seated blood in the ears. You can see that clearly.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. for Footprints, only on Citi TV.
Now the all-new Ghana Pay mobile money service app is here. Just download it from the App Store or the Play Store. You can also register by dialing *707# and by visiting any branch of your selected bank to activate your wallet. Ghana Pay transaction be free. You only pay e-levy. Ghana Pay, your money your way. If you're hustling under the sun, If you are tired and thirsty, if you need quick refreshment to go with your meals, you need to reach out and grab a Coca-Cola. Find Coke Zero Fanta Sprite in a 300 ml returnable glass bottle at 2 Cedi 50 pesos. If you want the 300 ml plastic bottle, it's selling at 3 Cedi 50 pesos, and your favorite Coke Classic is selling at 3 Cedi 50 pesos for the 300 ml plastic bottle. So whatever it is you're doing, make Coca-Cola a part of that moment. Coke Raw refreshment for all occasions. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. You need to try it first.
Meanwhile, RT Homes is a real estate company with various properties located at Oyarifa, Ayimensa, Oyibi, and other preferred locations. We have available 2 and 3 bedroom homes at Oyibi behind Valley View University for sale in a gated community. Now, locate us at Oyarifa Ghana Flag. Call us on 0244-692-857 or 0246-102-514. You can also go to rthomeplanners.construction@yahoo.com. And if you want to emigrate into Canada, Askia Immigration Consulting will give you the right information, personal advice, and authorized representation in all your immigration matters for Canada. Visit askiaimmigration.com for free consultation. We are a regulated firm located at 1 Airport Square, Airport City, Accra, adjacent to Holiday Inn Hotel. You may call us on 0506-012-289 or 0241318890 or email welcome@askiaimmigration.com. You can also follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Askia Immigration. We are the joy of greatness for your journey to Canada. Meanwhile, the Ghana Revenue Authority is informing the public that effective 1st October, if you wish to apply for tax clearance, you should do so online at www.taxpayersportal.com or download the Ghana Taxpayer app on Google Play Store or the App Store. Applicants who visit our Taxpayer Service Center will be assisted by officers of the authority to apply. You're also required to indicate your PIN of the institution that is requesting the certificate. You may also call us toll free 0800 900 110 or WhatsApp 0552 990 000. That's 0552 990 000. Or go online info@gra.gov.gh for more information.
8:43. Like I said, at 9 a.m. we've got the November edition of EdTech Monday, so stay tuned. But for those who didn't know, at 1 p.m. the Black Stars will play. The Black Stars are playing in their second World Cup game. They take on South Korea. Son Hyun means South Korea.
Kim.
Everybody is Kim. About 5 players in that team are called Kim. Hey, what is that? So it's like Moon. South Korea, their main names are Moon. Kim.
No, Moon and Kim.
There's 3. There are Park. So the 3 most popular South Korean names are Kim, Park, and Moon.
Yeah, they have 1, 2 of them also.
Charlie, serious. So from Kim to Kim. To Kim, back to Kim.
And then to Moon.
Charlie, Banky Moon.
Nathan, are we winning today?
Oh, wow, that's a tough question.
Because if we don't win, we are out.
I don't think we are winning.
I don't know.
About every of you.
Are you asking?
Okay, wait. What is your realistic expectation for the game?
A draw.
A draw.
Think, yeah.
We will be alive with a draw.
Yes, you are still alive. But the point is that
that
means you have to beat Uruguay.
But you have to beat somebody. At some point, you have to beat somebody for to progress.
That kind of thing.
So, but a draw will not be the end of the world.
No, it won't be at all.
But a loss will be.
A loss will be. 2 losses, you are out, really.
So we have to avoid defeat.
We have to.
Do you think they will approach it the same way they did the Portugal game, where they contained the Portuguese for the first 15 minutes and then decided to sort of after the penalty they said, Charlie?
I think they will play with the brakes a bit off.
You think so?
I think they will still be a bit more disciplined. I think they'll still be disciplined at the base, but we should expect the team to be a bit more expansive because we're in a situation where you need a win.
So will you say that the team he picked in the first half against Portugal was a conservative, defensive-minded team?
Yes, because that was really the plan. The plan was to always stay alive against Portugal, possibly come out of it with something, and then
build from there. It almost worked until the penalty.
Yes, until the penalty.
And then when we equalized, the substitution also didn't work. So that means will the team change?
That's the info we are picking up. It is likely we'll see some changes, and those changes, if they should happen, will tell us that the coach wants to get the win.
Okay,
now.
so let me go back to the list we used and I ask you where you think the change will be wrong, because the people we started with for the first game. So this game was where, Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
So we had Atizigi in goal. Do you think he'll maintain Atizigi?
Yes, Atizigi stays.
And then he did back three of Amate, Jiku, and Salisu. So remember you told me that it was a very risky thing to do the 3-5-2. But this is what he did.
Yeah.
So he did the Amate, Jiku, Salisu. Will you repeat that?
Otto is proving hard to predict. Yeah, but maybe he might go for a traditional flat 4 today with what Nathan has said, and also some of the indications of picking up that he wants to be a bit more attacking.
So if it has a back 4, what does that mean?
It means then you might see your Tariq Lamptey coming in.
Right back.
Yes, because he's more attack minded. You know, then you might see Baba Rahman stay or Gideon, depending on what he wants to his full.
So it means one of the centre backs will drop.
Yes.
It could be Jiku or Amate.
Yes, Salisu definitely stays.
Yes, because he gives the natural left balance.
Yes.
So he may do Rahman. Rahman had a decent game.
Yeah, he was quite good.
He had an assist as well. Yeah. So you do Rahman and then he will probably drop Jiku.
Or
Amate.
Or still maintain the back three and then play
Tariq and Gideon.
Tariq and Gideon. As
Gideon is
backs.
more offensive.
Very offensive.
Very
Yes.
offensive.
Who will do the middle three then? If he does that,
I don't think he'll change Partey and Samed.
Samed had a good game.
Yes.
Samed had a good game.
Yeah,
so Partey and Samed, would they be DMs in this case?
So Salis is expected to do defensive work, and then Partey is supposed to do more breaking the line work as well as defensive work.
So then who will be the... So in this your formation you're doing, the third midfielder will be who?
That's where you are. That is if you are sticking with the back line you are talking about. If we go a flat 4, I would bring in an additional winger, not a central midfielder. I'll bring in either of Kamaldeen, Osman Bukari, who scored.
You want somebody who
Jordan.
can run, who can...
Yeah, since
you want to go after the points.
Would you replace Dede with Jordan?
No.
You will still keep Dede?
I've told you, I don't drop Dede from my Blasters line.
Dede has talismanic. You know, when he scored, it was almost like I knew he was going to score.
I don't drop Dede from my
player. He's your player.
No. Keep him on. His legs are gone. Take him
he's
off.
He's your talisman.
Yeah, but keep him on. If his legs are gone, I'm not saying he gets tired.
He's a good luck charm.
It's not a good luck charm. He just knows.
He knows. He does what you ask him to do.
He'll get me a goal.
He'll get you a goal.
He'll do something. He'll do something. You want a penalty one? He'll go and dive. He'll get it for you. Something will happen.
Wow. So let's go through this again. You are not sure if you do a back 3 or a flat back 4, but you're saying that Salisu will stay, whatever formation he does, and he may do Baba Rahman or Gideon Mensah depending on whether he's doing back 3
or flat 4.
You see from the substitution that he'll bring Tariq in for the right back.
Yes. I think he'll start Tariq.
I think he'll start Tariq.
You're also saying that he'll maintain Salis and Partey.
Yeah, that he won't touch that.
Now, so the key decisions to be made is: would you keep Kudus?
Yeah, nobody's
your best player.
Yeah, nobody.
But where will you play him? Where will you play him?
Well, either you shift. You know what I'm saying? In bringing an additional winger, you shift Kudus a bit to the attacking right. Keep Dede behind the striker, Kamaldeen or Jordan or Osman Bukari left, and then Inaki stays up front, or bring, that was mostly.
But Seidu will not play.
Alidu no.
Alidu,
I think Alidu also got a yellow card.
He was a bit hot-headed as well. So in this your formation, Inaki stays, Andre stays.
Yes.
Kudus stays.
Nobody touches Kudus. He is the best creator we have.
So who are you dropping from the first game?
No, the changes I'm saying
are all from the back.
But
you said you wanted a more offensive guy, like the guy who in the Switzerland game who did the assist, the guy who plays for Rennes.
Kamaldeen.
That guy is really quick.
Yeah, I want Kamaldeen to come in on the left side. That is if we play a flat 4.
If you play a flat 4,
yes,
then you put him on the left. But if you don't play a flat 4, then you lose the Gideon Mensah.
Yeah, Gideon Mensah will do that work.
I get you.
They will do that work. So if we play a flat 4, Kamaldeen gets a shot on the left side.
With who on the right?
No, you shift Kudus. You shift.
So you move Kudus off to the right.
Yeah, you shift Kudus to the right with space to roam.
The way Korea play, would it be better to be attack minded or to contain like Portugal? And
today, I think we should be patient.
Patient.
Yeah. The natural call will be
go for it.
Go for it. But if you've listened to the Koreans, they basically said they are waiting to exploit spaces at the back.
Which means they want us to run at them.
Because they are expecting that you are coming in with a rush of blood to your head that I want to do something now. So they are looking to exploit
And
that.
they'll give Son. Son is the best with that kind of thing. Where
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it will be quite expected that Ghana will go gang-ho, but it will not be a good approach. I'm saying stick with the defensive organization that we should. We were very organized, and I like that.
Very.
Yes. Stick with the defensive organization, but improve the attacking shape of the team.
Okay.
Now, if we are able to improve the attacking shape of the team, we are posing them problems up front. We are holding them back. Korea is not very potent.
Should we let them come at us?
No. Korea is not very potent up front. We watched the game against Uruguay, right? They had one shot.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was
the
your
entire
man.
game.
One shot.
They had one shot.
Some. That was one shot.
They were
Uruguay
here.
hits the bar a couple of times. So, if we are able to stay organized, they're not going to pose too much of a threat anyway. Now, we are organized. They're not posing a threat. We must also be able to do something. Now, that is where I'm saying we have to be sharp, because the same level of defensive organization we've shown, they also have. This is a very good defensive Korean team. If you in the past 10 games that they've played, they have kept clean sheets in like 6 or 7.
Is Kudus being played in the right place? Charlie, because
Depends on-
the guy's ability to dribble, Charlie.
Depends on what you want to do, and so that's also the thing that Ghanaians we like the
Kudus.
But as you do it, I'm just saying he's the X factor.
Oh my lord,
he's the X factor.
Charlie,
he's the X factor for us.
Yeah, you know Kudus.
Yeah. He's the X factor.
I wanted to go and carry him on my head. if they say I should carry him, I'll carry him.
Yeah, he's the X factor
You know,
for
the
us.
way he's able to beat his man and run at pace.
He does the ball progression
Imagine if
work.
he had like I forget this guy's name all the time, Kamaldeen, with him, and they are running at the defense.
Yes.
They will be very. They are menacing. No.
Yes, they are.
They are
but
very
but
quick.
the headache for you then is
defensive.
Because the assumption always is Ghana plays on the front foot. We are not ball dominant. We are not a team that possesses the ball 70%.
Yes.
If you're a team that possesses the ball 70%, 80% of the time, you can afford to take those kind of risks because they are always on the ball.
Yeah.
So you don't risk too much.
And they don't do good defensive work.
They won't stay focused for a long time.
Can't you? Because you see, if you are playing on the break,
Yeah.
can't you have those guys and say, look, just stay behind the ball. The defender will lob it over the high line. You run for it, and then you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it's the awareness of it. Okay, Kudus is not designed for that.
His skill is not defense.
Yeah, he's not defined for
Unleash
that.
him.
He's not designed. Yeah, let him do what he wants to do. And I think after he settled, we started seeing what he was capable of. The ball progression, the take-ons, the shooting as well.
He gave us a fair shot.
Yeah. So
two good shots.
Well, we need to encourage him to do that a lot more.
Where did he come from?
Right to dream.
Right to dream.
I hear he's a Nima boy.
boy.
Yeah, he's a
Oh
Nima
my
boy.
lord.
Yeah.
Nima to the world.
Kudus, Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, Kudus.
I just think he needs to be more efficient.
Yes.
For the Black Stars.
I mean, for Ajax, he's quite efficient.
Yes, because they play him very high
They
up.
play him very high
How
up.
can we play him high up?
Because this is not Ajax.
This is not.
It's very simple.
You can't do a cut and paste. Argentina tried it many years ago.
Because Ghana is not Ajax.
Lord have mercy. No, but Kudus.
We don't have the supporting structures.
Kudus.
Yeah,
The point is,
In terms of the quality,
quality of
player
around him to allow him
No, and
to
even
go
the
up
system.
front.
You know,
The
like
system.
like Partey. I felt Partey was unfairly bashed after the game against.
Why?
No, people were like, he doesn't step up. You know, people expect to see Arsenal Partey, and we've had moments where
Why can't we get Arsenal party with this one?
because you don't have Saka, you don't have
Granit
Odegaard.
Xhaka, you don't have Odegaard. You don't have those
see,
kinds of players to
Arsenal
allow
is a
him.
team that is designed. They can play the way they play with their eyes closed.
Okay.
The passing, you know.
So he knows where to put the ball. He knows the run the guy will
Exactly.
make.
The runs
Exactly.
to make
We don't
those
play
goals.
like that.
And his ability to step up and score those killers from outside the box is not by luck. They designed the play
But
to
there's
allow
something
him to
I was
show
worried
up.
about
there.
in the first game. The Portuguese pressed us a lot in the first. So whilst they kept the possession, and while they pressed us a lot. We didn't have a lot of time on the ball for the first like 40 minutes.
I'm actually writing my match preview,
what was
and
that?
I'm saying one of the main points I'm saying is that beware the press.
But the Portuguese tired though. You notice that
Yes.
because
But the
of the
Koreans
aggressive
won't.
press.
But the Koreans won't.
By the 50s, from the 50th minute going,
Yes.
the Portuguese have decided
They're
that
backed off.
they won't do this pressing thing. It's not helping them.
No, I also part of the strategy in the sense that they were not finding the spaces in the middle
So they
that
want
they
to
were
allow
looking
us to
for.
attack them.
So you come and then they'll start finding the space behind you.
That's how come they scored
Oh, Sky Jesse has come.
Yes, my Jesse.
Is it from Jamaica?
Yes.
I'll be with him later.
Yes, against all the.
So you're saying that the Portuguese backing off was not necessarily tiredness. Could also be
they wanted us to open
to
up
now come out.
Yeah.
And that's how come in that chaotic spell they scored twice, because then the chaos was what they wanted.
The game had opened up.
The game had opened up.
And against Korea today, honestly, I just feel we should be patient. We should be a bit more direct, but we should also take care of the ball better.
Yeah, we
lost the ball too many times. And that will require people like Samet to be a bit more. He should take care of the ball better. Partey
Andre has
takes
to.
Kudus
has to take care of
Kudus
the
especially
ball
because he'll get a lot of the ball because he's the focus of the team's attack. So he needs to take
and
better
now when
care
you
of the
lose
ball.
the ball, I noticed the transitions are now the thing in football.
Yeah, they're really
the
quick.
2 goals they scored, the second and the third goal, it was in transition.
Do you know why?
The
You know why?
midfielder hadn't settled.
Yes, it's because teams are in everybody has left their position. So when the play breaks down, you can't recover.
Yes, so
I remember
when we lost that ball, the Jordan lost that ball.
I remember
everybody was all over the place.
I remember 5-6 years ago in one of the UEFA
technical reports.
The technical from the champions, Jose Mourinho kept saying that it will get to a point where
that's the only way
the transition is the only way to score.
Because everybody's so organized.
Did you watch Croatia yesterday? I'm sure the coach was watching Canada. Was like, oh, these people. Like it's like they have brought themselves to this abattoir. Cut my head.
This was Zuma called father and son.
Yeah, cut my head. No, it's like
they played right
into the house of Croatia.
Yeah,
like it was so obvious.
But it's because Canada's football culture is low.
Yeah, I was just saying it's a World Cup.
They play ice hockey.
Master, if you score one close,
naivety.
They were playing like we play basketball.
Yeah.
You shoot, I shoot.
You
shoot, I shoot against Croatia.
The way Alfonso celebrated his first goal.
So prediction. What is your prediction?
Me,
yes.
I think we'll win a narrow victory.
You will win narrow.
Oh, either 1-0 or 2-1.
Ifo?
Yes, I think we'll win 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
Okay, we'll see.
You?
1-0. 1-0 Ghana. 1-0.
I know what you're going to say. I'm going to say the draw.
Prophet doesn't think we'll win.
I don't think we'll win.
And I get him when he.
No, I go with your heart, not your head.
When you say we will,
I don't think we'll win.
Why are you saying so?
Stop that. No, I don't get paid. But that doesn't pay me to
tell people what they want to hear.
You think you're not hungry enough?
It'll be a tough game.
No. It will be a very hard game.
It'll be a difficult game.
My heart, Ghana wins comfortably. That's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
By
your head?
I'm confused in my head.
I bind you. But if you're a Ghanaian business operating in the manufacturing and agro-food processing industry, or you're looking for a chance to expand your capacity and scale up your business, there's great news for you. Over 20 Italian companies are scheduled to take part in the Plast Print Pack and Agro-Food West Africa exhibition. Comes off 29th November to 1st December at the Accra International Conference Center. Visit the Italian pavilion to meet and strike business partnerships to help grow your business. Meanwhile, this World Cup season, don't just cheer and walk away without getting anything. Channel your passion and football knowledge into good use and drive home a brand new Peugeot Landtrek pickup. Courtesy Silver Star Auto. Go to Ghana Win 2022 via graphicwin2022.com. Read questions and send answers to score points. Now there are prizes for the 5 highest daily winners, the 3 highest weekly winners, and the 2 highest monthly winners. The overall accumulated score gets to drive home a brand new Peugeot Landtrek pickup from Silver Star Auto. Visit our social media for more information. This promo is sanctioned by Gaming Commission of Ghana, and all proceeds donated to charity Peugeot from Silver Star Auto Company.
Now, the Heritage Christian College is located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. It's affiliated to KNUST and accredited by GTech. They have BBA programs, BSc Information Technology, Bachelor of Theology tutorials, and professional programs. They also have media and IT short courses. You can enter using WASI, ABCE, GBCE, HND Diploma Top-Up, mature 25 years or above. Call them on 0547 777 731 or 0202 298 399. Heritage Christian College, offering world-class university education and training compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. Losing a loved one stops you in your tracks and leaves you shaking. But in these tough times, you can count on the Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium. They have 21 years of experience, so they know what they are doing. They'll give you a great service. Take care of your needs and give your loved ones a dignified farewell. Contact them on 0509 542409 or email info@lashibifuneralhomes.com. You can also visit lashibifuneralhomes.com for more info. Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium, dignity for the deceased, comfort for the bereaved. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we give you the thing of EdTech Monday. Remember, EdTech Monday is a platform for EdTech entrepreneurs, education stakeholders, and government reps to facilitate critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. Is an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation's Regional Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning in ICT. And it happens every last Monday of every month. Remember, it's a partnership between the MasterCard Foundation and Mest Africa. You can catch the show live on the Citi Breakfast Show and watch live via Citi FM's Facebook page, Citi 97.3 FM or Mest Africa. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Malcolm Black Friday is back and now live. Get into your shopping mood this November. Simply walk into any Malcolm shop nationwide for our amazing offers and low prices. Malcolm Black Friday is back and now live. Terms and conditions apply.